Here we have the same one. It just says photographs, and it wasn't really clear whose photographs. And I think it's going to be hard to enforce if a parent takes a picture of their child at a concert and they put it on their Facebook page. Are they going to be reported to authorities? Because that's what it says is going to happen. So I don't think that policy is very clear at all. That's what the policy says, is that if they violate this policy, they're going to be reported to the appropriate authorities. How can you enforce a parent taking a picture of their child at a concert and putting it on their Facebook page with, you know? Because if you go online, you Google Pleasantdale School, you'll see tons of parents' pictures of their kids at concerts and events, and so I'm just like concerned. How are you going to enforce that?
We're talking about those photographs that would be taken that would disrupt the function of the school, such as photographs taken in a locker room or any of those kind of things. And so when we had the discussion on this, you really can't put language in there that's so specific that it would exclude. But this is a very big issue.
Okay.
That in fact, in this day and age, pictures can be taken at any point.
I can see some potential, though, that if a parent puts up a picture, you know, of the entire class or everybody that's up on stage or something, and, you know, if my child's up there and I signed off something saying that I don't want their picture posted anywhere,
right,
that somebody else does, I could see that as a potential issue.
Sure, there's a whole range of where this could be an issue. So,
and that's why the whole thing is not clear. So the best thing you can do is put this on, and then, I mean, really kind of see what happens, because the issue that you have by not having anything, you're almost having a disregard for that form that they fill out at the beginning of the year, either giving or not giving permission to use their child in any kind of advertising, whether it be on the internet or elsewhere.
It's really for our protection.
Right.
I think the third
and for that of our
I mean, but this does allow if a parent were to call the school and complain, for us to address it.
What if it was like a neighbor, though? I mean, like, just plain, you know, like my next door neighbor came, snapped a picture of my kid, got Patty's kid in the picture, put it on their Facebook. I mean, how can you enforce it with, like, a neighbor? You're only talking about parents? I mean, that's just, it's kind of like...
It seems far-fetched, but yet...
It could happen. I mean, I see it all the time. I see my friends' Facebook pages with my children's pictures on there, you know, at the Halloween hop or whatever, you know. So I just... You know, obviously, if they're Halloween hop, though, they're parents, huh?
If it bothered you, you pick up the phone and say, can you take a picture of it?
But I'm just saying, we're in our policy, we're saying that, you know, we're going to report them to the authorities. So that's what I'm just concerned about. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think we're limited. Like, we couldn't write, in my opinion, only if it had adverse effect on someone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because then it's like, okay, then the debate could be, what's the measurement of adverse, you know. So it's like, okay, this is broad and general, but if it's something that's offensive, it at least allows us to do something, as opposed to if you don't have anything written, you can't do anything.
Opening ourselves up.
Okay. All right. I just had some questions about that.
Yeah, it seems far-fetched, and you wouldn't think you'd have to worry about that, but...
I can tell you from the issues that we've had this year that we need to worry about this. I mean, strengthening this policy.
But are you having issues with parents or just students?
Parents and students.
Okay.
Gina, anything else on the consent agenda?
No, I'm good. That was it.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, may I have a motion, please, that the Board of Education approves the consent agenda as revised?
I move. Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approves the consent agenda as revised. As the roll call is taken this evening, I'd like to ask that all members respond yes if they are in favor, no if they are opposed. Erica?
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
I thought after I'm assuming it's in regards to what you said, but after your discussion, I thought nothing was revised.
We revised the minutes.
Yeah.
Right, but, okay, so we did make language change to it.
Yes.
Okay,
Minutes.
all right, thank
Are
you.
we okay then?
Certainly.
And as revised?
Certainly.
Oh, can you, are those the only two choices?
Pardon me?
Can you abstain, though?
Yes, you can.
Okay, that's it.
But all I'm asking is if you are in favor to say yes, and if you are opposed to say no.
Well, okay.
That's all I'm asking. Yes,
Okay.
you can explain.
Okay, I just, all
Or
right.
nay, as Karen pointed out,
It
yay or
says
nay.
yay or nay in the policy. I mean,
Okay.
it could be
You know,
technical.
but you can abstain or you can pass. Either one. Okay, Erica?
Mrs. Esser?
Yes.
Mrs. Hope?
Yes.
Mr. Mirably?
Yes.
Mrs. Nelson?
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't here for the discussions. I wasn't on the board in April, so I really can't vote on it.
Mrs. O'Halloran?
Yes.
Mrs. Tegmeyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Sedlak?
Yes. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Reports and discussion items. Superintendent's report, please. Regional Council.
Erica, could you get that? Yeah, I'm really pleased to be able to bring this report to the board this evening. It's too bad Sandra left because she kind of started off the presentation pretty well in terms of where we're at with this. You know, the bottom line is that the curriculum has never been better articulated than it is right now. We've accomplished an incredible amount over the last 2 to 3 years, but especially this last year has been a very, very busy year, and I'm just really, really pleased where we are. So this presentation is going to take a little bit. We've got all of our curriculum coordinators here are going to be participating. We've got a PowerPoint, so we'll go through this, and then when we're done, we'll entertain any board questions. So we're kind of tag teaming this, so we'll have different take turns with this, and I think Lisa, you're on first.
The purpose of Curriculum Council is to ensure that all content area curricula meet board-approved standards of excellence so that students develop the highest possible academic and social skills in keeping with their mission, as well as a passion for learning. And this is a charge that has been given to us by the core team. Next.
Okay, just to remind the board, and for a new board member, the whole point of the standards of excellence is there's a policy that we have about curriculum development, and it has several purposes. One, to make sure that all of our curricula are solid and have all the necessary components that curriculum need to have. But the other point is that everything that we do in this district needs to be aligned to the mission. If it's not aligned to the mission, we shouldn't be doing it. So you can see the mission behind me here drives everything. We have objectives that refer to really 3 areas: academic achievement, social skills, and passion for learning. So you'll find that all of the outcomes in our curriculum relate to one of those 3 things. Next thing is that every curriculum has a content area purpose statement developed by the various content area committees, such as the math committee, language arts, and so on. And those are all posted on our website, all updated for each content area. Then moving, as it goes further down, it gets more specific. The outcomes and components are those things that students need to know and learn in every single subject area and every grade level. And as Sandra said, our outcomes and components exceed state standards, and they've never been better articulated than they are now. The scales, and you're going to see examples of all of these, is really the chunking of our curriculum. How do we divide it up into basic, proficient, and advanced levels? The segue from that is into our assessments, and you'll see examples this evening of assessments where it's articulated in terms of level of difficulty of questions, and that applies to all of our assessments. And I'm very proud that we met our deadline, was the end of April, in every subject area, in every grade level, to revise all the common assessments. This would include unit tests and chapter tests. So the amount of work was incredible. I can't even give you the exact number of assessments that were revised, but we really put our nose to the grindstone, and the teachers delivered on this, and it was not a small task. Then finally, report cards, and you'll see examples of these, and again, all the things that you see on the outcomes here are now reflected on the report card. So these outcomes are all numbered. You will see on the report cards corresponding numbers. So for parents, they can easily, when they get the revised report card, they can look at whatever item is on there. They can, if they want more information, they can go on our website and they'll see the entire outcome and all the components listed there. So the alignment is really solid. And there are examples in your packet of grade 2, grade 4, and then a grade 6 prototype report cards. Those have been reviewed by the Parent Advisory Committee. There still may be some adjustments to those. Tomorrow the Curriculum Council meets to kind of go over it with a fine-tooth comb one more time, but we're really in an excellent position with this. And now we're